Hello, this is Falterfire, and this is another in my New Player Decks series. Like all the videos in this series, we are working with a limited Forge upgrade set. So we don't have a fully upgraded Forge. We do not have all of the cards unlocked. We only have the first batch of generic cards. We have the quests that require depth 1 and 2 completions done. I am planning to actually do Lost Warrior, I think, before I do the Catan quest, the Catan run, which I haven't recorded as of time of this, although this is probably going to be coming out after that, because I do think these two cards are valuable for Catan, but that's neither here nor there. And so anyway, the point is, we're targeting depth 3, we're not doing shrine runs, but we're using level 4 characters to try and do what we can. So, with Paladin, one note here is that with the level 1 and 4 passives, we don't have the level 7 passive, which is that you would get a charge up whenever you hit 0 mana, which is going to make getting, which is going to mess with me a lot, because I'm very used to playing around that when it comes to supercharging. So I'm going to have to be careful. We do still have this passive, although in my opinion, it is pretty weak. You were getting not that many charge ups from this total. We do get sturdy whenever we trigger status, which will be helpful for generating sturdy. So I'm planning to play a relatively aggressive strategy. So I think to that end, we definitely want Galvanized Blade. I'm basically deciding if I want 1 or 2. Let me real quick think. Do we have... Alright, we have Purify. Yeah, and that's our only option for reducing status. So we are probably going to run a Purify to work with our voltaic surges, which means we also want other statuses that we can apply to ourselves are pretty good, and having access to Tough is always pretty good for a Paladin. Phase Race is less directly useful, so because if we evade, it doesn't count as blocking it, but I may still end up running it. We will see. So, Defensive Field isn't bad. I am considering that as well. And Martial Prism is also okay. I think we probably do end up wanting a way to apply Weak. I'm basically deciding between Blinding Shield and Hobble. Hobble draws a card which is very valuable. And it's also an odd cost, which can help help us fit mana together for focus as needed. And then on top of that, one of the other notes here is that we can get powerful from Voltaic Surge and Galvanized Blade. So I may try one of Ironclad Strike, which I have not been a huge fan of in the past, but which other players have told me have worked out great for them. So that is the plan here. Gotta have the Paladin card back, of course. I don't know why it does that still. Alright, we're gonna yeet the card pool and start over again. Decreasing mana, I think we're gonna be aggressive enough to make that work. Spry Vigor is usually pretty good. I don't know if Twinning Ritual is going to do anything for us. Eye of the Storm is good. I don't think we want Wave of Corruption. We might want Elemental Barrier. We do want Legendary Strike, of course. Super Beam. Flood of Insight. And then, yeah, I think we just go back and put in the Twinning Ritual. And one of the things definitely when you're working with this limited supply of epics is that, we only have so many options, which means that we kind of just take what we can get. We just kind of use the same things a lot. I don't like Magic Cannon, so I'm never using that. We don't have the support for Runic Blast or Unstable Blast in this deck, so we can't use those. We don't have Summons, so we can't use Spirit Shield. We don't have the mana for Singularity. We don't have the debuffs for Wave of Corruption. Vampire Strike isn't that good. I'm pretending Morbid Overture doesn't exist because it's not one of the first tier of generic unlocks. It's one of the only 2 generic unlocks that I am pretending I don't have. Anyway, you don't need to care about all of that. The important thing is just we do use a lot of the same epics here in all of these videos, and that is because of just the nature of having a limited supply of cards to work with. Arms Race and Battle Ready are pretty good. We will take those. Careful Aim has a lot of potential. We don't actually have any spells right now, but we could definitely end up, in our starting deck at least, although we could end up picking some up. I think there's a decent chance we end up being slow enough to make Mental Growth worthwhile. Spry Slice is a card that I don't know how I feel about. So Mostly just kind of fitting in cards here that I think are pretty okay. So the nice thing with Crystal Blast is that if we supercharge, we get pretty close to being able to get the Crystallize out of that. I do think I want AoE Arcane. Just go to whether I want Magic Spores and Arcane Nova or just one of the two. We don't have any Arcane in our starting deck, which makes it a little harder to justify another card I would consider. Charge Strike is okay. Brainstorm is okay. Armory, I don't think is quite going to be where we're at. I think, God, I always end up kind of regretting Weird Concentration, even though it's like one of the only 4 mana cards we can get. And we can take the Last Resort and see how that goes for us. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go. I definitely would like to have been able to fit in more mana cards here. I just don't think that there were a ton of other mana cards that made sense necessarily. So yeah, we will see how this goes. Although if it goes too poorly, this will go relatively well if I have uploaded it, because the goal for this series is that I am showing you decks that work, not decks that don't end up working. So, which is part of why the Catan video isn't out yet, or isn't done yet when I am recording this. So we're going to go Ramparts. We do want those strike cards. Between these two, I am less certain. Soothing Shot, that is very good. Crystal Dragon drops a card that's good for us. Elemental Strike, though, is valuable enough to make me want to go Plains. And then Fetid Coast. So Baelator is difficult to shield tank, so we may end up going into some evasion for Baelator. I didn't put it in my starting deck, but we can try and find some. The other plan is we can try and freeze it, but also we don't necessarily have tools to do that handy. So we'll see how this goes. So looking at this map, I do tend to like going to events because they just are solid. But if we go this route, we get a lot of card pickups that are solid, and then we could get Swarm Calling. We don't necessarily need it, and we just get 2 events there. So we're going to start here and then see how it goes. All right. So this is one of those moments I mentioned where I'm used to playing. Okay, we end up not getting punished, but I'm used to playing with the level 7 passive, which would allow me to guarantee I get mana out, because it would create a charge up at level 0 mana, which I could then guaranteed spend. Brainstorm is very good, but I think mana is, although that's kind of nebulous, I do like having a little bit of healing available to me for when I need it. That'll shock you. Just a little bit of extra damage out. I should have gotten him very powerful. It's fine. Okay. So far we're pretty aggressive, which is nice. Undying Persistence would only draw us the Ironclad Strike, but this is another tough source that's pretty good. Although Magic Spores is a card that I like enough that I think I'm willing to take it here. Is that true? Having access to Strike Draw opens up some possibilities down the line, especially if we get Undying Persistence here. I think we're going to do this again where we just invest in setting up Powerful and then kill phase 1 of that. All right. So this will only draw us a skill. We are going to get shocked here, but that's okay. I don't know for certain this is going to be okay, but I don't have a choice but to get shocked, so I'm going to pretend it's going to be okay. All right, here's the plan. Get damage out. Well, that's not really what I was looking for. So the question is, do I want to get powerful here, or do I just want to purify it? And then I think I'm just going to get this out. That's going to draw us guaranteed Ironclad Strike. And it's possible the Frozen Height isn't necessarily important for how this deck has shaped up so far. Although it's hard to judge how we'll be doing later on from these early fights, where we can just kind of brute force a lot of stuff. I like having Arcane Strike handy. Defective Strike is also very good. But I think we're going to take the Arcane Strike. I think having access to Arcane Rune is good. Didn't do as much damage as I would like, but could be worse. Guaranteed to get mana if we supercharge, so that's the plan. And then we're going to do that, which is just going to shock, but kind of why we have the whatchamacallit? The Forge upgrade and the Restorative Focus. So I know that this is bugged right now, so that gives non-temporary powerful. So like it's tempting to pick this up. I don't think I want this because I know it is busted right now. That it is bugged in a way that would make it way, way stronger than it should be. So I'm going to choose not to take it. Because I don't want that to be what is controlling the run when it is a card that we shouldn't have. Extra shield gained is good, or when it's a card that is doing things that it should. Especially because like the specific way it is bugged is very, very good for our deck. Right, we aren't going to be able to get value out of this turn, unfortunately. But I'm going to do that first. Oh, right, that one is also bugged right now. I forgot. So that it currently ticks off of 10 damage. I may cut that because that is a significant advantage. I'm trying to somewhat limit how much bug abuse I do here. Yeah, our mana situation is pretty dire right now. Which isn't anything new. Mana is very rough in starting decks right now, in my opinion. I want to get non-temporary powerful, I think. As it gets as powerful we can keep. And yeah, it is worth killing that. In my head, we weren't going to have mana left afterwards. Alright, let me get a little bit of shield there. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to pitch this entirely because it is being overpowered here. I don't really want to bother playing that, I think, because I don't want to bother freezing. So it's worth noting, once we take down this guy's going to start trying to kill us, and it's going to start doing a ton of damage. Which... Sure, I guess having growth would be nice. So probably take mental growth if we see it, which we can't from this fight, but because this is an epic fight and mental growth is a common. All right, so that's gonna blow you up once, and then we can kill you. And now you're going to start trying to kill us, so we really don't want to be shocked. Yeah, see, 13x4. This is where, fortunately, we have enough damage. Alright, Swarm Calling is actually very good, but I think we need the Spry Vigor because it's just the mana. It should help with our mana problems. As far as upgrades go, this goes to 4 hits, an extra turn, which I don't think is that relevant. I really like Voltaic Surge Plus. We do need the ability to manage that. Whatever. We're going to cut the Crystal Blast because it's busted. This is just such a good upgrade. And then we will just figure out how we're dealing with the shock later. I just never know what we're doing here with that one because I'm too lazy to remember. I'm too lazy to pull up my notes. All right, this is very good. Tiny Book is a card draw trinket. Card draw trinkets are incredible. We are very happy to see it. Do I play this? Basically figuring out how I'm sequencing things, because it's looking like we're not using Undying Persistence here. Which I think is fine. It means that we're not tough, but I think we can deal with it. Let's do that. Pop. All right, I think it's worth doing this. This is awkward. I think we have to pitch that. But the important thing here is we want to kill this before it can shield up again. And then those cards still cost mana because we had Fatigue 1, which is why they were at their normal cost despite being supercharged. This is meant to be kind of a teaching series. I should explain what supercharge does. So while we're supercharged, that's this state. So we need 5 energy to supercharge. Once we are supercharged, we immediately get the Charged Blade, which does damage to the first enemies, and we draw 2. And also, while supercharged, our cards cost 1 less. They deal a lot more damage. They apply a lot more status. But instead of gaining shield, we apply shock. We can't gain more energy while supercharged, and every non-mana card we play is going to cost us a rank of energy. Alright. And also, some cards do things slightly differently while we're supercharged. Specifically, the energy gain cards do. So, for example, Voltaic Surge, instead of giving us energy, is going to give us Powerful 2. And that is non-temporary powerful, which is to say it does not go away at end of turn. So, Paladin is a character that I have been playing that I don't really like into idols, but that absolutely does good work when you're not fighting idols. Because you have such a powerful set of options available to you. I think we're going to take the Contemplate here. We start by supercharging. And I think we may actually be okay with getting shocked here. Because I think of all the fights, this was going to be one where getting supercharged hurts us the least. Or getting shocked hurts us the least. Because the base damage on Bintas is very low. So yeah, even though we're shocked, there's only 7x2 damage. Although our problem is going to be... Okay, good. We are going to go ahead and lose this here. We didn't full block, so we didn't get the charge up. And now you're trying to hurt us, but... I think now's a good time to do that. Alright, so this will kill you two. God, I just now realized how many. Ranks of energy I had. Okay, so we are going to take some damage here. Fortunately, we're not bleeding on this turn. Could I have played last turn more responsibly? No. I played it perfectly. Shut up. Supercharge. So close. There we go. Perfect. Exactly as planned. This lets us convert all of our extra energy into draw for cheap, which is good, usually. So we're going to do this, I think. Is that a Flood of Insight? I think Eye of the Storm for now. I don't hate having a chance. This upgrade is very good, but very expensive. And I don't know that we have the... I don't think we can justify the expense right now. I definitely want to upgrade this to level 2 Surge, but I think upgrading this Galvanized Blade is better right now. Galvanized Blade Plus is very good. I don't know that we need the Frozen Hide when we have the Undying Persistence. So we're going to cut it. Alright. We cannot get Elemental Strike here, which is a little unfortunate. We can go for Pulverize instead, which is also very good. And we won't necessarily have a reroll token, though, which is unfortunate. But because I've been actually removing cards. Naturally, we drew into this, which is useless to us right at this moment. That's okay. We would like to have it purified this turn instead, but... Let's... I want this in the draw pile, but I also want to do this, so we're just going to do that first anyway. What did we cut? I think we cut that. So here's the play. And now we have tons of mana. Alright, so these are all upgraded. So that's going to kill you. That all works out. Mystic Ritual is great. That goes great with that Purify. It's card draw. Draws a lot of cards. So if you take this middle option, there's a chance you don't have to do this fight, and this fight doesn't have cards that are really worth it. If you do have to do the fight, you'll have the enemy will start ambush. Okay, this middle option here just gives us extra max health and max mana, so it's fine. I don't really know that the other options give you anything of value. All right. Let's go donk, donk, donk. And we're just gonna do that. So this guy is a jerk. Or this guy is, so the way that this fight works is that it doesn't do anything for a bunch of turns until we kill it once. And then the first time we kill it, it's going to come back sorry, it's going to come back and it's going to try and it's going to have all the buffs. It's going to keep all of its buffs. So what we want to do is kill it before it can set up too many buffs. We are going to be shocked because that discharge is just means we're kind of unavoidably shocked here. But if we know we're shocked anyway, we can spend our last 2 energy on drawing 2 cards. And it's just going to die to poison from the Envenom that we got from the whatever buff. So that roll works out. This is not the card I was looking for. I was really wanting to get the other card that drops here. I think we take the Sanctuary. We may need it for the boss fight that's coming up. And I'm going to get the reroll token here so I can force out Pulverize. Because, yeah, being able to cleanse at least level against Ruby Dragon is going to be helpful. Give me a second. Okay, so we can just pitch that because it's not doing anything for us right now. Really kind of hoped we were going to see Purify there. All right, we found Purify. All right, we have that starting evasion. Okay. Not sure that was the best way to spend my turn, but it's what I ended up doing, so. Probably should upgrade the focuses. And Galvanized Blade Plus is very good, which... Definitely we can have this problem where, like, we draw hands that don't directly do anything. Getting shocked here would probably be bad. Yes, this does get us supercharged. Okay, this is actually going to work out great, because this is guaranteed to draw us Purify. And then we can get non-temporary powerful. Okay, well, that's fine. Maybe we'll do that, just get a little bit of burnout. We are evading this and then blocking the back hits. Give me a second. Okay, let's do some damage. Discard, charge up. We're just gonna do that. It's gonna give a bunch of shield out, but we don't really care. I just wanted to get the extra defense because we are exploding and getting hit, and that hurts. Okay, that all works out. And now we can take Pulverize, which does a lot of damage. That upgrade is not worth it. This upgrade might be worth it. I think we're going to upgrade Focus or Galv Blade or Voltaic Surge. I think upgrading the Voltaic Surge makes sense. And then I don't really want to cut anything right now, so we'll just take another whatever. Give me a second. All right. So we have a choice here. We can go right and pick up and get 2 extra events, or we can go left and get 2 elite fights. I lean towards going towards the elite fights. Although these fights can be tough. We don't have backline access for Silga Alpha. These cards are okay, but not necessarily great for us. I think we're just going to go for events here. All right, cool. What did we end up upgrading anyway? Oh, the level Voltaic Surge. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable choice. Actually pretty happy to see that. We can do this. And then we just eat 2 damage. That seems fine. And we can potentially get cornered focus here. We did not. Power Surge seems okay, though. I don't think that's worth it, but Enchanted Stopwatch is great. Just gives us a lot of extra critical damage. So the options here, if we meet the conditions, we can get 2 trinkets. This one gets a defensive trinket. This one gets an aggressive trinket. This one just gives us some energy. I could see replacing this with the defense trinket, which requires us to fight 3 Silgas. We don't get the card, though. Alright. It's actually pretty good. Take Eye of the Storm. You know, in my head, we were probably going to draw at least 1 mana card there. This shocks us, which... Oh, right, we get those guaranteed crits, which... pretty good, it turns out. Alright, and yeah, we get this, which will be an emergency shield source. Alright, this event doesn't ever do anything. It's just you get some energy. So those were... well, we got something okay from one of those events. So this fight, the trick is, once we pop the shield, this guy is going to go aggro. We don't have tough, so I don't really want to... Or once he gets to half health, he's going to go aggro. But my bad, words are difficult. You understand. And so that means... so we can do this to reduce our statuses, which lets us play that safely, which is pretty nice. We're just going to draw 3 cards. I think that we should have in the draw pile. So yeah, once he gets to half health, he's going to summon in friends. Should do that just to get the tough. And then that sounds like a good thing. So once we do 19 more damage, going to go to the next form, which is going to summon in Drakes, which the important thing here is the Drakes can... the damage here scales off of how on fire we are, and the Drakes can apply fire to us, so we have to be careful. But that takes away some of our on fireness. Trying to figure out. So this is going to summon Drakes. It's also going to give us some shield. And then next turn, we will try and do some things. All right. Trying to think through like how I should do mana for rest of turn. Alright, cool. I did get this, which is one of the things I was looking for. I could do this right now. It seems okay. Not amazing, but I'm okay with carrying over the other charge into next turn. So we are now very on fire, which is an occupational hazard. Alright, that doesn't draw us mana. Could be in trouble. But it did, so obviously not a risk. But we absolutely cannot afford to be shocked right now. Because next turn, we are going to be attacked based on how on fire we are, and we are pretty on fire. Fortunately, tough plus weak helps a lot here, as does the fact that we can use Sanctuary to help cleanse off some of the fire. We are much less on fire than we would be if we didn't have that. I'm going to get rid of these, I think. And we just spend the turn getting rid of those. I can play this, but I don't know what we're going to draw. We are kind of in need of defense. So we're just going to do that, finally. Okay. Oh, we're not tough right now. That gets us 17 shield. And does 60 damage. Yeah, it seems okay. The nice thing is the drakes only come out once, so that threat is resolved. Oh, we have super lethal already? Okay, so made it through without actually taking any recoverable health damage, which is good. And Arcane Silence would be very nice to have. I would like to have another Spry Vigor, but I think the Arcane Silence is slightly better for us here. And then we're going to discard item. And we're going to upgrade, I think, one of the focuses. And then I'm inclined to cut something. Maybe the unupgraded Galv Blade. Maybe the Resto Focus. It's our weakest mana card. But it is healing us. We don't have another source of heal right now. Galv Blade is helpful for doing damage. I think it's Restorative Focus. And we're just going to, partially because we are hoping to pick up good mana cards in this area. Okay, so we are fighting Bay later. I have to remember that. I have to try and find cards that will help us. Which, oof. I'm not seeing many birds. Because that bird's not going to use their... Rhyme Shield wouldn't be bad. I would like to have a Rhyme Shield. Tend to prefer Corrupted Font here. And I also... So the question becomes like, can I take this fight? This fight could give us... okay things. I think we're going to go up left side. So we can get some good cards from these, from the Marsh Elementals, that we can take events up top. We'll see where that leads us. It's going to take our mana away like a jerk. Yeah, just draw a bunch of cards. This is awkward. Trying to figure out how we do this. We just play this. It gives us some shield. Although I guess we don't have the extra tough. We don't have the tough to get the extra damage. I think that's fine. So next turn, this guy attacks for a bunch of damage. So that's the threat that has to be managed. So unfortunately, we don't currently have access to Arcane. However, we do have Tough. We have Weak right there. Here's the plan. We supercharge. This has to come out as the problem. What's the last card in the draw pile? Full Take Surge. Not really useful to us right now. Okay. So that takes off the Mighty, which is going to down-tick the damage. And then we apply Weak. And there you go. Exactly like we planned. Awkward. Definitely the lack of good generic mana cards is a big stumbling block with these early decks. It feels like, you know, that is just like our problem in every that could be a problem in every fight or in every run, is that like we are battling against mana a lot of the times. This is going to flip you, which is, you know, maybe not the best thing to do right now, but yeah, we're going to get a lot of damage here. Flipping there was a mistake. I was too busy talking and wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Okay, we can get one bad fight. Yeah, Rhyme Shield is 0 cost and it's a lot of shield, which seems like a thing that we need right now. can do this to just apply shock to one of them. Okay. Get hit here for manageable amounts of damage. Just do that, I think. Gives us these frigid currents, which are like worse versions of the rhyme shields. That's the actual reward card. But they go away when played, so. Just do that. All right. Get frozen again. Just get rid of one of those. Get rid of that because we won't be able to really use it. And then we get killed. And there we go. Mental growth. I think we want that growth going. That'll help us a little bit. And then this is a lot of extra shield, which is, I think, that we want. Wait and observe. And we get the shock core, which I don't think I actually want, but we do get energy for discarding it. Okay, we're gonna get that shield, I think. So I think step one, shield up. All right, so what mental growth does is it means that next turn, instead of getting 2 mana at start of turn, we get 5 mana at start of turn. My understanding is that that is quite a bit more mana. Don't ask me how much more mana. I am not a math major. Or major, or really I don't have a major at all because, you know, I haven't graduated a while ago. Anyway, we're just gonna pass turn for now. Gonna get our mana stolen, which is super rude. We have mana problems as it is. Just want to get that out of the deck, I think. Nice thing is we are going to get a very good Purify off here. Or we just do that. More mana for next turn. You can do this to just shock this And we finish off with that. Still pretty worried about Baelator. Obviously those fights went pretty well. Short protocols, it's not mana is the problem. Last resort, I don't think we have the mana for it. I think we just reroll and hope. Battle Glory is good. I think Cultivate's probably what we need though. Are you taking the Battle Glory so that we can take Corrupted Font? We're taking Corrupted Font regardless, but gotta get that not too very powerful, of course. And get those detonations off to get this started. We just do that for now. I mean, this will come back around again. Doing this shocks us, which is bad. We do that so that we can do this. No, that's I'm not sure what the best sequencing there was. Probably pulverizing was correct, but that's the sequencing we went with. Well. This is another fight that doesn't bode well for our Baelator chances. I think we can afford to shock ourselves here. I'm very happy with how that went, though. Because we can shock ourselves. We're going to take 36 damage here. We can actually afford to take 36 damage here, so. And just kidding, we're... Oh wait, just kidding, about just kidding. We are indeed... Just kidding! About just kidding. About just kidding. We're not taking any damage, we're getting the kill. And I want Corrupted Font. It's something. This is probably better, but we already have very good trinkets for our deck. Normally the Shiny Scales is just kind of whatever, but in this case it is very good because it helps us with our voltaic surging. Putting the other Galvanized Blade is good. Upgrading the Arcane Silence makes some sense. So it's upgrading. Lots of upgrades make some amount of sense. Mental Growth Plus gives us a whole bunch of extra growth, which is nice. I think we want the extra turn of Hobble. I think that week is going to be important against Baelator. I think we are moving on. Getting through Baelator's initial purity might be a little tricky for this list. I should have just fought the scouts there. I'm used to just like clicking through that and not caring, but we could have fought scouts there and picked up a Dead of Night. All right, we'll take the free extra upgrade. I think we upgrade a Focus. And in this fight, we didn't grab an Ether Storm, and this is where we end up regretting it. Doesn't actually matter that we upgraded that because All that evasion. So next turn is the turn that we actually get attacked. This turn we just get set on fire. And this weather effect is whenever we draw extra cards, everyone heals for 3. That means us and the enemies. So, taking a little bit of extra damage is fine, but if we take enough to lose max recoverable health, then that doesn't help us. Let's do that. These birds are very evasive, as you can see. Alright. I do appreciate that we get extra max health out of this fight. Less appreciative of enemies healing. So I'm going to do that before I supercharge. Also that. We got to think, yeah, the cards that I want to supercharge with are that one, and then finally charge the strike. Don't really need that shield right now. We don't want to get shocked though. Especially without giving us an arcane detonation. I think that's worth it. Oh, right, and then we get burn ticked on us, but I forgot about. So we did need shield. Oops. But it ends up being fine. Who needs planning when you can just have the math work out even if you don't do the math? Duh. I think this is a turn where I do need to do that, though. Go and get that shield out, because lots of incoming damage here. Alright, and now the loop. We've gotten back around to the beginning of the loop. They're going to burn us, and then they're going to gain some more evasion. That's pretty good. Yeah, I could draw more cards, but just getting that out seems better, since it just eats up all the evasion. It's going to get more evasion, but... can we afford to shock ourselves, becomes the question. Answer, we don't have to. Hooray! That's going to take off their evasion. I actually don't hate doing this. Alright. Just the little guy left to go. Very happy that that powerful didn't come out earlier. Look at that damage go down. Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. We can eat the damage, but... I wasn't paying attention. Thinking about the fight is over. I mean, it basically is, but wow, that evasion. The enemy was hidden, and so I had a 50% evade chance, which as we all know, 50% evade chance on enemy is equivalent to 100% evade chance. Goodbye. Okay. I don't think giving Mighty to Baelator is the answer. We don't have any way to curse or burn Bale later. But we might roll an item. We did not. I think we're just moving on, and we're hoping that everything works out for us. You need disruption cards, and I don't know that we have enough cards that would qualify as disruption cards to get the free upgrade here, so we're just going to wait and scavenge. Alright, let's see how this fight goes. Obviously, going in with max health and all of our rests is pretty nice. And not taking any damage turn 1 is good. I don't know that we're going to be so lucky turn 2, but... So the problem here is this week doesn't actually work for us because of the evasion. Fortunately, yeah, we don't end up taking too much of a beating there. We get a lot of trash this turn. And this turn is where things could get rough. Cannot afford to shock ourselves. Yeah, we're just going to eat a beating here. Which obviously not my preference, but I don't really get a say in the matter. And this is kind of like the thing with the Bale fight, is like, you just need like one turn of things going wrong, and you can eat a lot of damage. We do now have weak and tough out, which helps a lot, obviously. We want that extra turn of tough. And our mana situation did finally seem to have resolved itself, more or less. So, and yeah, I am willing to just stack a little bit because, like, we literally can't. We would die if we got caught up without tough again. So, I am willing to make plays to try and do everything I can to mitigate that. All right, that's going to get rid of the Gonna get rid of the mighty. All right. We are slowly gaining more sturdy as we get at arcane detonations and other status procs. Let's go do that. Make sure we have plenty of shield. Alright, looks like we're going to be fine. So, one bad turn aside, this went pretty well. And weirdly enough, like, we did manage to actually sort out our mana problems by the end. You know, it took the entire run, but we got there. A lot of it is like finally getting the, whatchamacallit. That's actually going to help quite a bit. So will that. Alright. We take a little beating, but we don't actually drop shield again. Just draw 4 cards. And this, I think, is going to be lethal. So. yeah, overall a pretty good run. Like I said, the Baylater fight, kind of a nightmare. Deck really could have used more card draw. I wasn't picking up as much card draw because I was worried about mana issues, but I definitely could have tried to fit in more. We maybe could have used a second Purify. Like it's hard to say. Like the double Voltaic Surge Plus was a little bit awkward. But yeah, so that's Paladin in a nutshell. Obviously, if you're doing this for yourself, you probably want to do more to pivot into Baylater as necessary. But that is going to be it for this video. I will see you next time. Until then, toodles.